Greetings and welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 kill team video, where today I'm going over my experience at the Bristol GT, which happened just this weekend, and how my Gellerpox performed. But before we get into things, please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Do you like it? Let me know what you thought. And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out in the episode description below, an affiliate link at Element Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support as well. But let's get on with the video. So yeah, today I'm talking about my time at the Bristol GT, which happened literally just this weekend gone past, down in Bristol, run by the UKTC, which is the UK tournament circuit. They started with the London GT and then have expanded there and run the main a lot of the main independent tournaments for the United Kingdom. They've also started to expand more into kill team this year compared to last year. So now they're running like 4 big events, including the LGT. So we've got the Bristol GT, which just happened, then the Sheffield GT, and then, yeah, the London GT. So it's 3 times this year anyway. So they all have golden tickets, which is why I played, right? To try and get a golden ticket. But also because now I can drive, I can go to more events. So the venue itself, well, the event itself was a 4-round tournament, right, over a single day. So not a 2-day affair, 6 rounds, just 4 rounds. And there were 36 players, I believe. And yeah, so it was going to be fun. I drove down on the day, which was a 2.5-hour drive. And then the M4 broke on the way back. So it was a 3.5 hours to get back. But that was fine. That was fine. I should have stayed over. That's fine. But the main thing about this event is actually I wanted to run my Gellerpox. So it was the tournament was using a mix of all kill zones with Into the Dark. And basically I've been playing Gellerpox for a while, and I just wanted to get my Gellerpox out there, considering potentially they could be nerfed in the next balanced data slate, which should drop this month. But also I've been working on my Gellerpox team since about April. So while I love the kill team itself and I've been playing them for a number of months now, the main problem I have is with the miniatures. I've never really been a fan of the miniatures. Like, I like the glitchlings and the mutants, but the models are just kind of too weird, if that makes sense. I get what they were going for, but it's just not my kind of style of miniature. So what I did with what I did for the Elucidine Star Striders, I decided to make my own kill team. But instead of just originally I was going to go Tyranids, but then I wasn't too happy with Tyranids. So then I used a faction I wanted to properly represent, which was Necrons. So I've actually always really liked the new Scorpec Destroyers, and I thought they'd be perfect. So I decided to go with my Necropox Infected. I'll do a video on them properly, but basically my mind is they're infected Necrons and they just jam machinery. So I used a Scorpec Lord as my Thrice Cursed, right? Because he has 3 different types of weapons. The best thing was getting him to fit on a 40mm base, which was what I was able to do. Then I've got 3 Scorpec Destroyers, each has one of the different Nightmare Hulks. Then I've got 3 Cryptofrowls as my mutant, with the Cryptofowl with the blade representing the mutant with an axe. Then my Glitchlings are represented by 4 Scarabs. And then my Fleas are 4 Sylvaneth Bugs, with the trees cut off because they're from the Kurnoth Bow Hunters, with Necron Plasma Casters attached to represent how they're damaging people. Then I also have 4 Plasmacytes as my Flies, and then I have 4 Delac Robo-Snakes as my Sludge Grubs. And yeah, I went with the Sazerakian, I don't know how to pronounce it, scheme. So the bronze scheme, and yeah, it turned out really well. I actually finished the kill team the night before the event. Right, I actually finished them that week, and then I managed to get them all done in time. Even magnetized using a really useful box with magnetic sheeting. And yeah, I was able to bring that down. So that was, I was really chuffed that I was able to get that kill team done in time, because I really do like my hobby. And I just was really proud with how I came up with this kill team and that I was able to pull it off. Especially as I think I did the painting quite well, and I was quite proud of that myself. So already I was very happy to get those done, because I was worried I wouldn't be able to get those done, because I've literally been planning this kill team since April, and I've only just been able to finish them off the week of the event. So getting into round 1. So the way this tournament was doing, it was 4 rounds. Everything was announced, 2 hours. Round 1 and 3 were on Into the Dark. Round 2 and 4 were on Open. So what was really cool was the TO had managed to get 1 set of Open and 1 set of Into the Dark for both tables. So it would just be alternating which was really cool. But round 1, I was playing loot, because round 1 was loot, round 2 was secure, 3 was capture, and 4 was secure. So I was playing loot on Dakota's asymmetrical Into the Dark maps, which are amazing, and I was playing into Commandos on Loot. So I've played a lot of Dakota's maps and I really love them. And to be fair, I actually like Into the Dark is so good for Gellerpox. Loot is hard, so I was quite nervous about Loot into my Commando opponent. But then what happened as we deployed? So this is after we've both done our sneaky gits and I did one drawn to the hum, which was pulling up that Lumberghast. And the plan was basically we both chose infiltrate change order, and he had moved up onto that middle objective. So originally my plan was, if he doesn't use sneaky git to get onto that door, get onto that middle objective, then I'll steal 4 turning point 1. But he did, and then I could see he's definitely trying to take the left side objective. So turning point 1, I went first. I activated 2 glitch leans. The first one moved up, opened the door, and the second one moved onto the objective and looted it. And then it basically meant we were tied on primaries. He did make a mistake. The biggest mistake he made was with the knob, turning point 1. He looted the point, but instead of moving back, he moved forward up to the door near me. So all I did was effectively last activation, after opening the doors up with the glitch leans and my mutants, my leader charged because he was on engage and basically put through 5 crits, because in this matchup against Commandos, I go lethal 5 up and rending on my leader because Commandos now have no way to play around crits. And basically rolling 2 crits turning into 3 crits basically just meant I killed the knob. So turning point 1, even though we tied on primaries, I had just killed his leader, and that kind of swung the game, because then I won initiative turning point 2. My Lumberghast charged into his 3 guys on his midpoint there, and then basically just neutered too many of his guys. I killed the Rocket Boy first, and then left his Dakka Boy on 1 wound. And by that point, once his 2 big threats had been taken care of, because I had my Tentacle Monster guarding my bottom right objective, I just kind of walked through. There was a big scrum on the left-hand side room, but thankfully, even though my Flesh Screamer was brought down to like 5 wounds, by the time he was eventually killed, he'd killed 2 out of 3 Commandos and left the other one just unable to do stuff. Because what I really like about the Flesh Screamer is just him charging and tying people up on objectives, because they're +1 to do mission actions and -1 to control objectives. So it actually means even if he's just sitting there, he's really annoying to deal with. So I played Commandos a lot, and especially on this map, because this is technically the worst asymmetrical map, not in terms of like practicality, but only because the room on the right hand side is entirely pointless unless you're playing unexplored rooms. Like, it's technically a pointless room. So the funny thing there was just I used my Tentacle Monster to cap the door. He killed the Slasher Boy, then charged into his Bomb Squig and Sniper Boy. Bomb Squig blew up, killed him and the Sniper Boy. So then that was kind of it. But it was a really fun game, and I managed to win that, I think, like 21-10. But it was mainly won just because my opponent was kind of too greedy with his leader. He did realize, he probably should have just moved and dashed back with his leader. And he kind of deployed too many guys on his right-hand side, because I was never going to push up on my right-hand side flank. But yeah, it was a really nice, fun game, round 1. So then we had lunch and the painting competition. So my only issue with the lunch was there was going to be food trucks, right? So what I like to do at events, if I know there's going to be like food there, especially I started more when I was going to American cons, but it's like if the venue is going to have like food trucks and stuff, or they have food they're going to offer, I try and buy food there, because I'm like, I know a lot of event organizers, and basically it's a way to help support the event and help them make money. So I was like, cool, I'll do that. I won't bring any lunch. I'll just do it on the day. And then after round 1, I got an email. It was like something about the event. I was like, it's fine. And then I checked the email after everyone else had finished, because my game had finished a bit early. And there was like, oh, none of the food trucks are turning up. And then we were like, oh. And then there was, because we were at the University of Bristol, we were going to go like, oh, the venue recommends there's a Subway 6 minutes on campus. That Subway isn't open on weekends. So we were like, oh. And then they weirdly have a Morrison's, which is like a supermarket on site. So we just went to the supermarket, but because we were first there, it was like barely stocked, and we managed to get like sandwiches, like a meal deal. And then we were just happy because in half an hour, that store is going to be raided by all the 540k players. So it's just like, that poor store. I don't know what happened to it, but we got there in time, us kill teamers. Like eventually they did bring like a one of the food trucks turned up, but by that point it was just kind of like, oh, so that was quite frustrating. So I don't know what happened there. But outside of lunch, the painting competition was pretty cool. Like what I'm really loving about kill team events, no matter where I'm playing, the painting standard, like the hobby is so good. Or I'll show some of the painted miniatures kill teams up there. But it was just so cool seeing all these painted kill teams, especially with all the conversions and display boards, because it was just really cool. People going so far for the hobby. It's really great to see. Like if I had more time, I will do it. Well, I would have done a display board for my Necrons. I've planned out, and I will probably do it now because I don't have anything left to paint that I want to paint. But it's just really cool. I just really love how us kill teamers are embracing the hobby. It's really cool to see. Like there was just so many good painting, like everyone. There was like no like top 3 or everything. There was just so many good kill teams. It was just great to see. So for round 2, I matched into my fellow New Zealand Londoner, Nick. We've played before a few times, but it seems every time he plays my commando, plays my Gellerpox, it's Sun Chao Nath. So on this map, we were playing capture. Oh no, secure. And I was quite cautious because if you don't deploy correctly or you can't deploy safely, commandos will just mess you up turning point 1. But because we were playing on Chao Nath, I won the attacker defender role and picked defender. I picked my side because, as you can see, that big building there allowed me to drawn to the hum to get my leader and stuff into position. And effectively, my goal turning point 1 is to get 2 objectives, ideally 3, but 2 objectives, and keep everyone alive, right? I need to keep everyone alive, survive turn 1, and then start charging everyone turn 2. So for equipment, he went with dynamite, stick bomb, and then 2 stun grenades. Turning point 1, I actually got really lucky. He stick bombed my glitchling, who captured the left objective, and it survived on 1 wound because he only got 2 hits. So I was really lucky there. And then even though I moved up a few guys, he actually got them with a stun bomb. So 3 models got hit and they all went to 1 APL. And he managed to steal my leftmost objective. But because he had gone first, he had misplayed a bit. So in my second to last activation, I moved my Lumberghast, where you can see up into the open on the right hand side of that building. Then Nick moved his sniper across. So he was on the edge of the building looking down to turning point 2. He would have a shot because he was trying to keep his rocket boy safe. So then I was like, because I had taken infiltrate, I switched my leader to engaged, moved 6 inches directly underneath him, and then flamed him and rolled 4 hits, and he made no saves. And it was just like sniper boy dead. So immediately that was fine. Then through turning point 2, I managed to win 3 objectives. My 1 APL Flesh Screamer just charged 3 boys and started tying them up. Then so did my Tentacle Monster. And basically, while I secured my leftmost objective, I just started applying pressure on his top 3 objectives. So then turning point 3, I was able to just like push up completely. He couldn't, because of the Tentacle Monster just charging orcs, because on a 4-up you don't fall back and you don't get your APL refunded. He was just tagged into combat. And because my Flesh Screamer was on the point, he was -1 to control it and +1 mission action to try and steal it, and I could just get more APL. So in turning points 3 and 4, I managed to get 4 on the primary, and then I had Rout, Rampant Nightmares, and Rob and Ransack. So I just managed to push through and just basically win via attrition. Like, it was just I was very lucky that I was on Chao Nath, basically. But it was super tough, and it felt more like a finale game than a normal round 2. But it's what happens when you come to these kind of events. The TO was apologizing to us for it, but I was like, no, it's fine. It's just I much rather prefer this with random pairing instead of fixed pairing, best versus worst. So it was just unfortunate we played each other early, but I will always take that with random pairings because it makes the event fairer in general. But super tough, but really fun game. Then in round 3, I was into capture on Into the Dark versus Nemesis Claw on a normal GW Into the Dark match. So the Nemesis Claw is weird, right? Nemesis Claw is technically at a disadvantage versus Gellerpox, right? But I feel more like it's very close. It depends on how it goes and where Vox Scream is used. And this game was like incredibly tight, even though it was capture. So the worst thing what I try to do is I never go like, oh, I've automatically won this game, because then you start playing complacent and making mistakes. So turning point 1, I was able to get 4 objectives at the cost of losing a glitchling, but I made 4 objectives turning point 1 because I got the flesh screamer and a glitchling on objective 5, where he had got the skin thief on, and then because he didn't move up onto objective 4, I just ran a mutant up there, and I sent my tentacle monster, a glitchling, and a worm into where my right hand side, just to stop him stealing into my room, where he put the skin thief and the lightning claw guy down the mid, plasma guy and skin thief into the main room, and then his leader and icon were running through his right hand flank. So then turning point 2, he won initiative, plasmaed my flesh screamer down to 5 wounds, and then I activated. I thought he was going to Vox Scream, but he didn't. So I activated my Lumberghast, who was also on objective 4, and then he multi-charged his lightning claw and poison guy, the poison dude. So my plan was to double fight. So I did 2 mortal wounds to the lightning claw and 3 to the other guy. I thought I only got 1 hit, even with blessings. I only got 2 hits with blessings of infection. I did 6 damage. He parried me out because he had 3 crits and 2 hits. And then I just failed all my disgustingly resilient rolls and died. But I did do explode on death. So I did 3 wounds to kill the lightning claw guy. And then I did a 1 wound to his other guy. And then I was like, oh dear. Okay, maybe it's not so bad. Then his skin thief charged my other guy and just killed him. And I was just like, oh, I managed to put through 5 damage with a crit. But even then I was just like, okay, this is not good. And basically we managed to go 3-3 turning point 2. I did manage to kill his skin thief via the use of a glitchling because I weakened him with my bugs, and the glitchling charged in. He had 1 wound left, and my glitchling killed him to get my eliminate guard. And then on the midpoint, I charged his banner and my lead and his toxin guy, killed his toxin guy, and then left the leader on 2 wounds. Then he charged and killed my leader. So then turning point 3, I expected, I finally won initiative, and he didn't Vox Scream my comms, so my tentacle monster. So my tentacle monster charged, killed his icon, and then just waited. Then fought his leader, and then did like 3 damage and went down to 2 wounds because I failed all my disgusting resilient rolls. And like it was super close. If he had actually won initiative turning point 3, he would have been able to steal my points and then move forward. Because what I was luckily able to do turning point 4 end of turning point 3 was charge his 2 wound leader, steal the point, and then get Rob and Ransack, which managed to basically unlock my tac ops because I maxed my faction tac op ramp and nightmares, but I'd sent my other glitchling into his 1 objective on the right hand side to get 4 points on the primary. But even though the points don't reflect it, it was actually super close because it ended 23-15. But effectively, it was because I went 4-2-3 out of the 4 turns. But if he had won initiative turning point 3, he would have been able to go 3-3 on the primary. I wouldn't have gotten eliminate guards, and I wouldn't have gotten Rob and Ransack, and then he would have actually won it because Nemesis Claw are just so good. And I was telling him after the game, it's like, yeah, if you Vox Scream me turning point 2 and turning point 3 there and there, you probably would have won the game just because of my bad rolling in general, but also it would have just messed up my tempo. But it was like his second game on Into the Dark. He'd mostly been playing open, so he forgot like his Venom Bomb gets lethal 5 up. But it was a super tight game and super fun. What I really liked was from the TO, because what he did, we started to have a lot of people coming around watching the game, which was fine, but a lot of people got really, really close, like literally at the table side next to us. And it's like, it's this etiquette with watching games. But what I really liked about what the TO did is he just told people to like just give us space and just like back off, which was really cool. I really like that. It's like a lot of TOs actually don't do that and kind of miss that, because generally people spectating games are fine, but it's just that added pressure you don't really need. So I just thought that was really great to see from a TO. Then in round 4, it was the final round. So statistically, there should have been 4 undefeated people at the end of round 4, at the start of round 4, and 2 undefeated going at the end of round 4. But because of draws and someone dropping, it turned out this was the final. So what the TO did was actually pretty cool as well. He told us it was the final, and basically he wanted us to have a full game. So he didn't say it's like, oh, you have free run to take as long as you want, but he'll be a little less strict. He wants us to get a full game because whoever wins this gets a golden ticket, which I thought was really cool. And it was against Vet Guard on Secure, on Nakmund. So Nakmund kind of makes this board okay. Like, if it doesn't have smokes, I'm kind of screwed. So turning point 1, he into the breached everywhere, and then I had to draw to the hum to get 2 glitch leans forward up along with my leader and Lumberghast. And then I knew I was going to get frag grenaded, but I literally had to, because if he does it, it allows my leader just to rush up. So it turned out not only was he the only undefeated player apart from me, he also plays very ballsy Vet Guard, which is one thing that terrifies me, because aggressive ballsy Vet Guard players are incredibly tough to deal with. So I didn't expect him to do this, but in rationale I should have. So he gave himself +1 move, and he activated 2 guardsmen first, taking the initiative. So his first activation was to run one of the guardsmen up and turn off one of the smokes. And then I was like, oh my gosh, oh no. And then he ran the second one up and threw a frag. He did 2 damage to my leader and 1 to the Lumberghast, but unfortunately killed my glitchling there, which kind of hampered my ability to steal the objective on the right-hand side. And he revealed his faction tack up to control objectives. So then what my turning point 1 was about was just getting in position, seeing if I could get charges, and staging for turning point 2. So I had to play quite aggressively, and what I did, I used my infiltrate to change my leader to engage. He charged, killed the guy with the frag grenade in the smoke while on the objective on his side, and tied himself up with the other guardsman. So basically I was locked in combat so I couldn't be shot. And then I moved my Lumberghast onto the right-hand side objective. I moved my Flesh Screamer up onto the oil rig, and then I moved my Tentacle Monster up, and I just moved onto the points where I could, as long as I had stuff with Super Conceal, and I tried to keep my bug safe just to limit my activation, like denial. I did lose a glitchling, and he got a sniper shot on my rightmost mutant, but I managed to live with 1 wound, so he was able to move up and get into position. Turning point 2, we both rolled 1 for the initiative, but I used his Chromanetron to win the initiative. And he moved up and cracked and shot my Flesh Screamer, bringing him down to like 8 wounds. So then I used Barge to charge through the guy on the point and kill his demo, because his demo had 3 APL. And then basically I used that guy he had left on the point on the center line, because he revealed central control hold center line, just to start anchoring charges. So I charged my Tentacle Monster up, brought that guy down to 4 wounds on the midline. And then I charged the glitchling, stole the point, and just moved up. And then he unfortunately made a big mistake, which effectively costed him the game. He gave his leader 3 APL, charged onto the point with my Tentacle Monster, flipped it, then decided to fight my Tentacle Monster, and proceeded to roll 1 hit, while I rolled 5 hits, and 3 hits and 2 crits. He rerolled 1 into another normal, and effectively I killed him in 2. And then he was just like, oh. Because then I charged another glitchling onto the point, flipped it. He charged his hardened vet on the center line into my Lumberghast to stop him charging and fighting. But then all my Lumberghast did was just kill him in 2 hits and then move up. Like the grenade launcher tried to get a shot on me, but I saved both hits, which was really unfortunate for him. And then basically I just used activated operatives to just hide in combat in the open. And then like my leader just killed stuff and moved up. Then turning point 3, I used Barge from my Tentacle Monster to charge into his 3 guys on the left-hand side who had tried to move up to go and steal my left-hand side objective. Because turning point 1, I only had 2 objectives, but turning point 2, I had 4. And then I had 4 objectives thereafter. Like, it was actually super, super tight. What won it for me was literally the leader charging in and dying. Even if he didn't fight, the problem is I had another glitchling who would just charge onto the point. And the key thing in this matchup for me is actually getting the Tentacle Monster into combat. Because against 8 wound operatives or less, on a free up, they can't fall back and they don't get the AP refunded. So what I start using is charging him, then barging out of combat to charge multiple people just to tie them up, because if they start fighting me, I'll actually just use the multi-attack to start grinding everyone down. And if they're in a point where they need to die, I'll just parry them out so I don't die. So they don't die, so I'm just trapped in combat. And effectively, yeah, I was able to get Rob and Ransack, Rout, and Eliminate Guards. It was the only game I didn't run Rampant Nightmares, because it was kind of, I didn't have much hope in Rampant Nightmares against this kill team, especially if we started running away. I won the attacker defender role and picked defender, because I picked the side where the scalable ladders were, just to stop him running up onto that oil rig, to stop him just like shutting me down. So I was very fortunate there, and it was just kind of, yeah, surviving turning point 1, which I was able to do thanks to my glitch leans with Super Conceal. But it was a super tough game, and yeah, just in the end I won it. So at the end of the tournament, I won it, which was really cool. I was really happy because not only did I win it, I managed to win it with my Gellerpox, which I'd been practicing a lot. I have to thank my other Geller bro out there, Orion, who has been helping me so much. Like, we've been sharing so many tips and tactics. It's great. Like, it was just cool because I wouldn't have been able to do it without him, because I used basically all the tricks he taught me this tournament and like in previous tournaments. And I managed to use it with my Necropox Infected. That was what I was really happy about. And then I was even told by the TO I'd actually gotten a few favorite game votes and favorite kill team votes. So I was in contention, like not in top 3, but I had actually enough points to not only win best, like first place, but also potentially best overall, which is really cool. Like, that's what, for me, like getting sporting points and best painted points as well is really cool. I really like that, because that shows you're not just only in it to win it. But I did get my 3rd golden ticket, which is my 3rd in a year, 3rd in 3 years. You know, this was my first golden ticket, and then I have a paper ticket from the New York Open, well, a sticky note, which I treasure dearly, saying golden ticket. I also got this really cool, like, metal medal. It's like proper metal, really cool. And they give me a bottle of champagne, which I obviously didn't drink because I was driving back. But it was just really cool, right? And they also, because the UKTC, it turns out this year, they're also offering free flights if you win. So they, like, I get a free flight to the World Championships of Warhammer in Atlanta, which is, like, amazing. I still find it, like, really cool that you can play Warhammer and now win, like, flights to the World Championships. Like, the fact there's a World Championships of Warhammer, which is just really cool. And, like, you can just win flights and stuff now. And, like, I think if you go to GW events, you get hotels. It's just really cool, right? Especially support for the tournament scene. But it was a really amazing event. Like, all the opponents were fun. Everyone there was really cool. There was great organization. Like, as I said, the TO did an amazing job. The only thing I didn't like was talking out, because there's been a history problem with talking out, but he was very clear about how it was done and was open about, like, how people weren't a fan of it. But generally there was no issues with that. But it was a really smoothly run event. Obviously he didn't have control over lunch, so there was nothing can talk about lunch there. I would have liked slightly, like, 20-minute breaks in between rounds and a 15-minute outside the 1 hour lunch, but that's just my personal preference. But otherwise it was really well run. Because it was in a sports hall, they had, like, water stations everywhere. I drank like 4 liters of water that day at the event. It was really smoothly run, and I especially liked how, you know, you had one board of Into the Dark and one board of Open, which is something Warhammer World started, but I didn't think another event could do it until the Bristol GT, because it turns out they got enough, like, terrain volunteers. So that's really cool to see, because not only was it just a really well-run event, a lot of the community had come together. Because, like, the Bristol scene is growing quite a lot. It's grown a lot since last year, and it's just great to see the UK scene coming together in general to support these kind of events. It was just really cool. Like, there were so many prizes as well, and it was just really nice meeting everyone. Super draining. Like, next time I am either staying overnight or the day before, because driving there and back was a huge mistake. Like, I really shouldn't have done that, because I got home at, like, midnight and I'd been up since, like, 6 a.m. So that's fine. That's fine. But I'm just really happy. Like, that was really cool. It now means I don't have to worry about other golden ticket events. I'm still going to them, but now I can just play relaxed, right? I've done my thing, and yeah, I'd rather more people go instead of, even though I wouldn't take a golden ticket, it's just kind of like, yeah, now I can focus on other stuff instead. But it was a really good event. and I recommend you going to like the UKTC events as well as Bristol events in general, because like Bristol are running a lot more events, as well as any of your local events too. But that's pretty much it from me today. Please remember to like and subscribe as well as comment. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Did you like it or not? Let me know. What do you think of my Necropox Infected? And remember, I've got a Discord you can check out in the episode description below, an affiliate Element Games, and a Patreon if you want to give me some more support too. And I'll quickly shout out my patrons. So for my adults of the crit, I have Willax, Tom, Super Cow, Sam, Nick, Mercenary Q, John Thomas, Graham, Freeman, David, Dave Meets World, Dad of Goldens, and for my veterans of the crit, I have Sam Just. So thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me and helps support the channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me today. And I'll also be at the Goonhammer Open, which I'll be live streaming across the weekend. So that should be pretty cool. My first of many, hopefully, live streamed Kill Team events. So even if you're not playing at the event, you'll be able to watch it live on YouTube. It won't be on Twitch, it'll be on YouTube. So no matter how far you travel for a Kill Team tournament, there's always a chance you can win, as long as you can roll a crit.